Hello. Welcome to my channel. I am Nate, and this is Peach Domino Papercraft. If you're new to the channel, we make junk journals and ephemera, and later on we'll be making other papercrafts, but this month especially, it is all junk journals. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. It's good to have you. Haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing? How's your mom and them? So this video is both Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things 2025 and Journal Rush September 2025. So there will be a Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things token in this video, but I'm not going to show it to you up front. I'm going to make you work for it. So what we were planning on doing today was using the tags that we created and decorated yesterday, and I have changed my mind on how I want to do this. We are still going to be using tags, but I am going to be using the tags I did not decorate yesterday so that I can show you some different ways of doing this, and because I think it'll be easier to do them this way. And honestly, if we're not doing this the easy way, why are we doing it at all? So, for this video, for this tutorial, it's a small one, but it is a tutorial. You will need tags that you have already cut out. I don't think I'm going to use this one today. I will use it in the journals, but not today. So you will need some tags that you've already cut out, and I'm going to use some fairy ones from the Autumn Fairy Kit from Chaos's Creation, and from the Absinthe Fairy Kit from Emily Designs, for the fairy side. And then I will be pulling some out of the bag for the Halloween side, because this is both videos all in one. But just get you a good mix of tags, mix of different sizes, and this is not a mix of a good mix of sizes, but just get you a mix of different sizes and shapes of tags. Oop, there's a Halloween. These are my fairy ones, and let's pull out a few for the Halloween ones. Just a random grouping from the middle here. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, now, let's start, since this is a token video, by working on a couple of fairy tags. Now, I don't have a prototype ready. I'm sorry. I should have, but I did not. But basically, what we're going to do, and this idea came from Tracy Fox, but I can't link it because I don't know where the video is. I've never seen it. One of my good friends showed me this and told me that's where it came from. So, there's that. And, like I said, I don't have that video available. I can't link that video. I have tried everything in my power to find that video, and I just have not been able to. I've tried every search term I can think of. I don't know how old the video is, but y'all don't want to hear me ramble on about how I can't find a video. So I'm just going to take this tag and roughly cut out that circle, because I don't want to pull out my circle punch. And I'm going to take a second tag that pairs well with it, and it can be the same shape, it can be a different shape, it can be a different color, just as long as they kind of look good together. That's the important part. I'm not going to use this one. It's big, and I don't think it's going to work well for this. Here, we'll use this one. Okay, So we're going to use that, and I'm just going to snip out this middle bit right here. You can do this with an X-Acto knife, but it's almost as quick and easy to do it this way as it is to do it with an X-Acto knife. It's easier if you can use a hole punch to start it, but my hole punch is too big for this tab punch hole, so my hole punch won't work for this. And if you have smaller scissors, please use them. I don't. I have this pair of scissors. I need to get me some smaller scissors, but not today. Snip that right out. But anyway, for this you're going to need tags that are cut. You can even use pre-decorated ones that you've already done, but once you see what I'm doing, you'll understand why I didn't. And if you've seen the Tracy Fox video, you might understand already. But you're going to need tags, you're going to need your decorations, you're going to need a couple buttons, and a paperclip or a 40. We're going to figure this out on our own because I've only ever seen the finished product. Should have made a prototype. Anyway, so I'm going to take these tags and I'm going to decide which one I want more on top. I think I want this one more on top like that. So I'm going to take my glue and glue it down. I've made a decision. So we'll glue it down. And you are watching me make the very first one I've ever made. So please take this with a grain of salt. If we have a mistake and it doesn't turn out the way I wanted it to, then we will know this was not the way to do it. And lay that down. Get your bone folder and burnish it to remove the air bubbles and the excess glue. Because if you're like me, there is excess glue. We don't want that floating around. Okay, and then we're just going to decorate it. But one of the most important decorations is going to be your buttons. So make sure you get them out. Those of you watching for the fairy wings stuff, paying attention. Are you? Okay. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna get our decorations out. We'll scoot those to the side. We're gonna get our decorations out and kind of sort through and see what we like and what we don't for this. Since this is a fairy wings video, I'm going to use this fairy wings word here, not the I don't want to use the postcard. I'd have to cut the middle of that. I'm just not feeling that right now. There's a due date. No, that's a library card. And I don't feel like using that. I don't want to put that button out right now either. It looks fiddly for the moment. Here's a good looking label. Here's another possible label. That butterfly is pretty, and I might just decide I have to cut that out. That's way too big. So these two I'm unsure of because this is more of the Autumn Fairies kit, but I might use them. I might. Oh, here's a good looking butterfly that I don't have to cut out. It's already cut I don't think that really fits. I mean, it kind of does, but not. I know this part's fiddly. Everybody has their own way of decorating. But just bear with me. Let me get some of these bigger things back out of the way so we can see what we're doing a little bit here. Okay. Is this? Nope. Nope, that's that journal card we made yesterday. Here's some more words. I don't think we need more words. I think this one has the right word already. There's another ticket. There's those onions. Those are not onions. Those are bulbs of some sort. They gotta be. Because they're not growing the same way the other ones were. Okay, we're gonna work with this. This is what we got. So I'm gonna put these back in here so that they're out of the way. Let's keep out those tickets. Might decide I need one of those to go along with the buttons. Okay. Let's find us a button that's gonna go well with this. So, that looks good with this green. Get a couple of those out. I know I've got some orange ones in here. That might be a little too bright for an orange. Here's a nice brownish one. Am I the only one that likes just sitting and playing with buttons? I'm going to tell you a story while I decorate this to kind of help the time pass a little. When I was a child, my great-grandmother would babysit us, me and my cousin. And one of my favorite, I don't know if it was his favorite, I know he enjoyed doing it, but I don't know. Anyway, one of my favorite things to do at my great-grandmother's house was play with the buttons. She had this big, of course bigger than this cookie tin, thing of buttons, lots of buttons, and we used to take her buttons and make necklaces out of them and bracelets and things. How many of y'all did that when you were a kid? Made button necklaces and things? I don't know if I want to have an element pop up on this one, and I'll show you why in a little bit. But let me get the main decorations figured out first. I know I want to have some sort of label. But I might not have room for a label. What if I stick this here? And then just kind of put this like that. And then take our little fairy wings and put it across the top. Yes. Yes, I like that. Okay. Ooh, but this is... What about this? Oh, that's a little big. Put this there. In that empty patch. Okay. I know, that was a very short story. But yes, I used to sit around my great-grandmother's house making button necklaces all day long. Because, you know, if you know about grandmothers and great-grandmothers and their button collections, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I aspire to one day also be in my 80s with a button collection the size of my children. She used to quilt, and she lived in an apartment, and the apartment manager, I think, let her put in a quilting frame that dropped down from the ceiling. Just this big square wooden frame. But sometimes we would be able to pull that down and drape, you know, some sheets or something over it and make a fort. I know one time my cousin got a tent, I think for Christmas, and we put a piece of plywood down. This may be 2 or 3 different memories right here, but we put some plywood down, put the tent on it, and then like wore cowboy boots because I got cowboy boots at Christmas, and just kind of tap danced on it. And I don't know, part of that may be a false memory. We sit around and watch wrestling with her. As a matter of fact, my great-grandmother took me and my cousin when we were young, super young. I don't remember what year Freddy's Dead came out in the theater. You know, the one where they did the 3D screenings and he blew up his head, stuff like that. The Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Dead episode. But she took us to see that in the theater. And I'm not going to say we were too young for it, because I don't think we were. We enjoyed ourselves. I don't know if she enjoyed herself or not. I don't remember much about that. I just remember that she took us to see Freddy's Dead in the movie theater. And I used to tell people about that all the time, because my great-grandmother took us to see that in the movie theater. Now I'm going to get my sewing kit out, because I don't think glue is going to be enough to stick down these buttons. Be that. Oh, there it is. Right in front of my face. I'm going to use this thread. Okay, and I'm just going to pull some out. Well, here's a good start, I think. We'll use that, because they're just buttons, and it's not like I'm trying to attach a journal cover together here. Grab one. If I can get my hands on this waxed thread. Anybody else have to pull their glasses off to thread a needle? Just me? Hope not. Okay, so we have to decide where we want the buttons. Now, logically, in my brain, you want the buttons along the seam to make it look like you buttoned it together. And you don't have to put buttons on it. That's the way it was done in the example I was showed. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now get your finger out of the way. Get all the tools out of the way so you can get things done. This shouldn't be this difficult. There it goes. Like, it's just going through paper. It should not be this difficult. And you can pre-punch these holes or whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. I'm just gonna go through one more time so that it's got a good solid grip on the paper. Wow, I don't know why I threw that. If you haven't caught on by now with me running this token in your face, today's token is buttons. Buttons. I was trying to be sneaky about it, and then I thought, I better not do that, because not everybody can catch on, and that's okay. You don't have to. You shouldn't have to. You had to hunt to find it, right? So that there. Just gonna put a little bit of glue along this to help it stay like that. Just to help it, you know, not be in the way all the time, like it's trying to do. And yes, that is an excessive amount of glue. I like excessive amounts of glue. So, again, I purposefully did not pop this up off the page, except for the button at the top. Because we're going to put a paper clip on the back. And you can decide to put a large paper clip on the back. That is a very large paper clip, and I don't think I want to use one that big. Or you can decide to put a smaller paper clip on the back. I would not put a tiny paper clip on it, just because of the size of it. And to do this, we're going to be making a hidden paper clip. If you know how to make a hidden paper clip, then look away, because I don't, and we're just going to fake it. I have a tutorial, but I haven't played with it. What I know about it is you want to separate the two pieces. And to do that, I might should have left that as a long piece, but I didn't. But to do this, I'm just gonna fold this up. Don't glue it. Stick it in between, right? But because you want it to be a hidden paper clip, I'm going to leave this side on the outside. I'm going to take this side. Oh, wait, I'm going to trim these down so I don't glue both sides down. I'm going to take this side, and because it's going on the paper, I'm not putting anything else on it. I'm going to take it and I'm going to cover it in glue. Make sure you get up inside there, because the paper clip itself is not the important part. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna glue this down to give this an edge that I like better for gluing onto, or for clipping onto a page. But I'm just gonna douse it in glue, decide where I want to lay it, and glue it down. I know there are steps for this, but I don't know what they are. So we're going to glue that down, and because of the button, I can't use the bone folder to make it stay. So we're just going to have to hope it works. Okay? Now on this side, I'm also going to take this little bit right here and fold it up and glue it. Don't worry, we'll be covering that up. So, I'm going to use my bone folder to poke that down real good. So maybe it sticks a little easier and a little stronger. I don't know because it's not seeming to do so. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so we're going to cover that up though because I don't know about you, but a hidden paperclip this is not. So I want to take you know what? No. I'm going to take one of these other tags. Clip out the hole. Does this one have a... yeah. Clip out the hole. Pardon me. Wow. And just glue it there. So I'm going to cover this in glue. And yes, I know I've probably used an excessively large amount of glue, but I'm trying to make sure this thing stays put. I'm also going to put a little glue directly on the ridge of the paperclip, because I don't know, maybe that'll help. Push it down, not too hard because you don't want to show off that it's a paperclip. Okay, now I'm going to let that dry before we test it. I've seen too many horror stories. Too many horror stories where people did not let their glue dry and ruin their project. And if that works, then we'll come back and we'll decorate this side. In the meantime, we're going to do a Halloween one. And this time I am going to use the bigger tag. Because why not? That should go in there. Okay, so let's see what we have. It looks good with that. We have this evidence tag, but I don't think that's... We have this, but that also doesn't match the vibe. Really, in the little selection I pulled out, there's not a whole lot that is going to perfectly match. That could work. That could work. Let me go ahead and clip this. And then just kind of glue this part down. So I gotta do it the other way because there's something good on this tag that I want to keep up. I want to make sure this switch shows as contrast to this switch. Okay. Okay, we got that. And now we need some Halloween ephemera. I'm trying to remember where I put my Halloween ephemera, but I think I put it back in the Halloween ephemera box. So, yeah, there it is. Let's see what I have in my Halloween ribbon box. Some bones, and they're already poking out. Good, good. Let's use this Bats in the Belfry one. Ooh, or this one. Let's use that one. That ribbon. Again, I don't want to go too 3D. So I may not use the bones. This is not from the best pockets. Oh, what are my Halloween die cuts? Uh-oh. Where pardon me for just a moment while I find out where I put my Halloween die cuts. I'll be right back. You ever had that moment where you find what you were looking for, and when you find it, you just want to smack yourself because that was, yeah. They were right underneath the box of fairy ephemera. I'm special, so here we go. Let's test this. It hasn't been very long, so it's probably not dry. Looks like it might have tried to stick to itself. Okay, it's not dry. I can feel that it's not dry. Let's leave it a little bit longer. I've got some other work here to do. So, I have eyeballs. I don't think I'm going to use those, so we'll set them aside. I have this whole bag of die cuts and fussy cuts and things. So let's pull some stuff out. I've already got these two witches, so I don't necessarily want to add more witches. I don't want to add that. I don't want people making the connotation that witches are evil necessarily, because this is just supposed to be two halves of the same coin. I'm going to add something, but I'm not going to add, you know, super evil. There's a cool looking moth. That might be nice. Here's a potion. I feel like that potion kind of gets washed out, so let's look for a different one. Here's a phoenix. Bats. There's an eyeball. There's a little cauldron. What do we feel about the cauldron? I like the cauldron. Some more bats. Here's a little mini. I don't use that. So I have these. They're replicas of old magazine advertisements from Halloween, where you could buy different masks and things. I'm trying to find another potion because I like the potion idea. I got your back. This is pretty. But we're not here to look at these things. I mean, we are, because that's exactly what we're doing, is looking through these things, trying to find some ephemera to put on this witch. Ooh, pretty grow. Some lungs down there. These lungs, by the way, and this brain, just to talk about how you can get ephemera from anywhere, are from a pamphlet that I got at my therapist's office long ago on the dangers of not legal in all 50 states plants. I know I can probably get away with saying it, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to risk it. Where are the rest of the potions? I know I have some, and I'm really enamored with this idea of putting a potion on here. These are stickers made out of fussy cuts. I just printed them on sticker paper. And boom. Stickers. And then you just cut around them. these are some pieces of buildings that were sent to me. I think there's 2 of them. This came from a friend. I think it was on a paperclip, but I cannot find that part. What about this one? This one's not brown. Oh no, that blends in way too much. I may just have to stick with the raven or the witch's hat or both. That's a lot. But maybe these some stuff from June-tober. That potion's a little big. It's looking like I'm not gonna. There's the rest of the potions all falling out. Let me see. What we got here? That's not a potion. Those aren't potions. That's not a potion. That is. Okay, so just one potion falling out then. And you can see the difference between the sticker paper and the not sticker paper. Where did he go? I have this cat. There. This is the paper I used to use for printing. Why are you not lit up? And this is the sticker paper that I use when I print. That's what made me switch papers. But, you know. So I think we're going to have to give up on the idea of a potion because I'm not seeing any that won't just get lost. Not a potion. Not a potion. Not a potion. Yeah, we're just going to squash all that to the side. That's a lot. Like a lot. And I still need a button. I guess you don't have to add the button, but I really enjoy the idea of the buttons. Oh, where'd it go? Look at this one. That's nothing that I can tell. It's just a pattern. Like they took and squashed up the clay or something. I don't really know. Obviously we have some black buttons. Here's one. That's pretty. I could also put a purpler button. You heard me, I said purpler. There's probably some more good ones in here, but I'm not going to keep digging. Okay, so I don't like the look of this purple against this. And this looks more navy now that I have it out of the box. Oh, there's... Yeah, because that stands out in contrast. I like the other two. As a matter of fact... I could do that. Just take our needle. Find our thread. Which is, of course... underneath everything. Because isn't that the way it always works? Get us a little bit of thread. I know I can already hear some of you out there cringing. I would rather use more thread than less because I know myself, and if I try to use less, it's just not going to be enough. Come on. In there. Okay. We're going to start with the top button, which I want right there. I forgot to glue that stuff down first. Now I'm just going to go through here poke these holes before I do anything else, so that, come on, that's 3 out of 4. And if you've ever listened to Meatloaf, you know that 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Okay. Yank, 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 yank. That should be enough. There's glue on the end of my finger, and I didn't care for it. It was distracting me. Move, thumb. That 3rd hole. And then I did not poke the 4th hole. So we'll have to do that. And because this is a 4-hole button, not a 2-hole button, I'm not as worried about it gripping the pin. I thought I only poked 3 holes. It's already gone through there. So... how? Oh. Okay, because I didn't have it sitting right. That's how. Tighten it up. Jim, tighten it up. Ah! I nearly lost my pilot there. See, you can see all that wax coming off. I don't care for wax string as much. But when it's what you have, it's what you use. Okay. Sorry, I pulled off camera there. So, like I said, because it's a 4-hole and not a 2-hole, I'm not as worried about it getting lost in the shuffle. This one is also a 4-hole. So, again, I'm going to go through with my needle, decide where I want it, and poke 4 holes. 1, 2, try to figure out how to hold this thing and not lose my holes, which is a little late. I've already done lost them. There they are. So that I can get the last 2 holes poked. Go here. Please don't poke me in the finger, because it's just going to keep going. Biscuits and gravy. I'm just using the awl. Forget it. Using the awl. Fix those 2. Poke through with the awl. Move the fingers again. Because I don't know about you, but I do not want an awl poking out of my finger holes. So I want to move them around so my fingers are out of the way all together. And then that's the wrong hole. There we go. Put that one in. I want to start singing because I have this thing where if I hear certain sounds, I tend to either repeat them or repeat a phrase or part of a song or some such afterwards. Some of you out there know what I'm talking about. I know it. Some of you don't. I know that too. And that's okay. I don't remember what it's called. And I'm not gonna go look it up or anything. But it's to do with my brain functions. It's not a bad thing. But I do have to suppress it sometimes. Now this one only has 2 holes. So I'm gonna gather my fingertips, get them out of the way, so that I can safely put some holes in here. And because it only has 2 holes, we're definitely going back through a second time. There's pass number 1. And here's pass number 2. Come on, get in the hole. Okay, got that. Now we're just gonna pull that. Oh, that is entirely too. That's enough string. I could make a whole nother one. And I didn't get them real tight in between, it seems, but that's okay. They're tight enough. They'll stay put. If ever I needed a third hand, now would be it. Not going to be a tight knot because I don't have a third hand. So, to cheat the fact that we do not have a third hand, I'm going to lay some glue on it. Squash it to the page. Run that glue around those 4 bits there. And just kind of, oh, I knew that was coming. It's not going to stay down. I don't know why I did that. That's okay. The paper clip will hide it. If I put the paper clip there, I might do something else. Now this is still wet in the middle because I used a lot of glue, but we're going to go ahead and play with it. And there you go. You have tabs that you can just slide off and slide on. Made out of tags. So that gives you more space here that you can decorate, or you can make more writing space and space back here. Again, don't put anything bulky on this side unless you put it here, because if you do, it's not going to work. We're letting that dry. That's why that's over there like that. Oh, it did stick to the page some. Let's go ahead and put some more. Let's squish it down. Even that didn't squash it. Here. Am I afraid it'll stick to my table? Not really. So on this side, I am not going to put anything because, yeah, it's going to be hard for us to get something in there that I like. So I'm just going to leave this side as is. This one I'm going to call finished. This one needs me to glue these things down. Needs me to clean my glue bottle off because it dried some. Oh, excuse me. I'm not going to re-poke that hole through that off. Just not. This. I'm going to put this here where I had it. And I'm going to put this raven there. Now, you may be wondering, Nate, what about putting a ribbon in it? I got you. You know I wouldn't just leave you hanging like that. Or I guess in this case, not leave you hanging. Okay, my recommendation is not to use tape to store your ribbon, by the way. Just if anybody's curious about that. Because you run the risk of fraying your edges when you don't want them to fray. And you want that to be a decision that you make. Or that is made by age, not one that is made by tape. It did stick a little bit. So we're going to thread this ribbon. And because we've got so much of this ribbon, I'm going to see if I can't make it stay on the pretty side. All of a sudden I forgot how to tie a bow. I think I might have turned it around. Y'all ever do that? Like, it's not that hard. I was on the right track. Wow. Now I know some people can take the two hoops and I'm not one of those people. So right here, I'm going to twist it around so that the pretty side stays on the outside, like so. And we get a bow. Where's my legs? There we go. We get a bow. And pull the legs. I don't have any of those fancy bow maker tools or anything because I don't make bows often enough to need them. And this is why I should have them though, because I am bad at this. Sorry guys, I'm just not a bow maker. There's a reason I didn't go into bows. Close enough. Okay, so now we just need to do the back side. Now what are we going to use for our paperclip? What about a giant pumpkin? Like that. So we're going to get a paperclip. Again, I am not going to use this guy. Good. I'm not gonna. I'm not worried about the color of my paperclip because it's going to be hidden. Hence, hidden paperclip. Okay, first I want to put something in the middle. Where'd that strip go that I've already started cutting on? I don't know. I don't know. Oh goodness, I almost dropped a whole box of ephemera all over the floor. Woo, that'll give you a heart attack. Faster than anything. Okay, so we're just gonna... measure that a little bit and put it a little longer. Now, glue it in half. Don't glue it in half, just fold it in half. Gosh, why am I trying to make things so hard? I don't want to clip a whole lot off because I want it to still fit over the paperclip. But you see how you can... I don't want that. Because that is... Why are you doing this to me? Oh, forget it. That is only going to make my job harder on myself. Of course it'd be harder on myself. Who else would it be harder on? It's not going to be harder on you guys. Y'all aren't the ones making this particular clip. I'm overthinking things again. I forgot. Okay, so I'm going to take the little side, glue it up, both sides. Don't know where my bone holder went. There it is. Push it down in the middle. Really push it down in the middle. I think that's part of what my problem was last time. Well, I guess I didn't have a problem. It worked, but really push it down on those folds. Make it conform. Because you want that piece stuck. You don't want that piece going nowhere. Got scared, thought I've done all this and I wouldn't even feel it. But I was. So y'all get to see it all. Whole thing, whole shebang. Whole noodle. I don't know. We're at an hour. Okay, well I'm almost finished. We're gonna take this. No, we're not. Stop that. Forgot what I was doing there. This side on the paper. Yeah. Yeah. Did the wrong side. I mean, that side needed to be done too, but... Okay, now. Get it in the middle. So wash it down. Ooh, I squashed a little too hard. Oh, that's part of the pattern. Never mind. There's a piece of the pattern that almost looks like a piece of the paperclip. Thought I'd done poked it out. Didn't. I can't remember if I put the long side on the tag or if I put the short side on it. So we're putting the long side on this time. Okay, and I'm going to try putting this one a little more towards the middle, even though I do have a button strip I'm trying to cover up. Because this big old pumpkin here, he's going to cover that button strip up real nice. Push it down. Because see right here, it's not wanting to attach. So why you should leave your edges on as much as you can. And then I'm just gonna glue some more in there to see if I can't get this to stick a little better. Okay. And then remember, don't go all the way to the bottom if you've got the short side out, because you don't want your pumpkin to stick to that bottom edge or your paperclip won't work. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but my paperclip is right here. That is a lot of space there, so you might not want to do that much space, or you might. I don't know. Let's see what that looks like while I hold this paperclip. Don't put it in there. I don't want it inside the glue. This is why you don't do it while the glue's still wet. Okay, that's not, I've got to let the glue dry. Let the glue dry. Press it down. Get it good and done. And that's it. So there we have our 2 tags that we made today, sorry. You never know where I'm at. And don't forget what the token was. I'm not telling you again right now because I don't want people to just go to the end of the video and think they can grab the token. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Anyway, so there's what we did. We made tabs that you can just easily slide on a page. Why is it now not working? It was working a minute ago. You just easily slide them on and off your page. And move them around wherever you want. Put them up here. Put them down here. Put them over here. Because of the paperclip, they're yours to put wherever you want. So yeah, there we go. That's what we got. Let's see if this guy will work for us now. What are you trying to do here? There's a gap in there. I'm gonna have to go back and do some fixing, make it work. But there we go. Hidden paperclip. Tag tabs. So make sure that you're following along the Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things link tree and following all those creators so that you get all the videos, all the posts, everything that's got a token in it. Make sure, make sure that you are subscribed to the Lottie's Magic Attic Facebook group, because there will be freebies over there. Make sure you're subscribed to my Facebook group, because there will be freebies over there. Make sure you're subscribed to the Tea Garden Papercrafts Facebook group. Freebies over there. I'm trying to remember the others. Chaos's Creation. I don't remember where she's got her freebies. It's a Crafty Life. Also don't remember where she's got her freebies. That's only 5. Emily Designs. That was the other one. Don't remember where she's got her freebies. So just go through and make sure you're following all of their socials so that you can always find the freebies. Make sure you check out the kits that are available Again, we used Autumn Fairy by Chaos's Creation and Absinthe Fairy by Emily Designs in this particular video. So yeah, have fun making these. I'm gonna go make about 100 more of these, so I have plenty to put in my journals. It might have been an exaggeration. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching along. And make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so YouTube will always tell you when my next video comes out. Make sure you like the video if you got the token out of it, or even if you enjoyed making this. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of, what you might want to see less of. Maybe you don't want to hear me tell my stories anymore. Maybe you want me to tell my entire life story. Probably not, but here we are. Let me know. Engagement helps me know what you like, what you don't, and I always answer every comment left on my YouTube videos. So that's it, and I will see y'all in the next one. Be sure to tune in tomorrow when we will be working on journal cards. Bye.